Hello and welcome back to the California Tour Stop. I am Mike White here with Bryce Clifford, and we're back for the women's finals.
We made it.
Yeah.
Women's finals. It's going to be a big match from OG Spikers, Becca Graham and Allie Rogers against Pierson and Jenki, who we just saw take down Wu and Miramontes in two pretty handy games. I mean, they didn't really have to do a whole lot in the second game. I don't know if that's going to help them or hurt them.
No, and I think that's really going to come down to it is this Graham Rogers is the best team they faced all day. Let's see if they come out and set that tone. I know that Graham Rogers has faced Twins only once this year, and they fell in a close 2 games. However, they've just beat Pierson, I believe, a couple weekends ago in Richmond. So not strangers on this court here. Not strangers.
No, it does feel a little bit like old school versus new school just because we've seen them, I mean, since I was playing the game. And, I mean, it feels like an eternity ago. They're a very dominant duo. They're getting back at it this year and playing well. I'm interested to see if Pierson's just unfazed by the legend that is Graham Rogers. I mean, in their head, they just beat the number 2 team. Well, Graham Rogers coming in ranked at number 3. In their mind, they should feel like
they should
the
be
best
good,
team on the
right?
board.
They should be good here. I know they're not phased, and Graham Rogers will bring that consistency.
Perfect. And Pierson will get us started up to the service line with a right hand. A great first serve. Rogers off the net. Big set. A little bit too far.
Not a great start there for Graham Rogers. Not what you need. A couple things off the no-no zone, but they'll just be feeling it out here, coming off a nice 2-game win against Zoomies in the semifinals.
Definitely early. It was a good serve to put on the pressure. The serve receive wasn't great, and it just trickles down from there. So Pierson looking to add to the quick lead here. Steps out to the right again. Nice and easy, but stays very low. Rogers, again, just a little too far off the net on the set. Down 0-2 early.
Yeah, I can't really handle Pierson's serve yet so far. I hope once they see, they can pick it up, but right now it's giving them a lot of trouble.
You remember when I asked if Pierson was going to be phased by the legend?
Yeah.
Not at all. Another good, little bit of a cut there on the serve. Finally, we get a ball on the net on offense from Graham Rogers, and it pays off.
Nice put away. They have such nice low hits that we'll see throughout this. But the thing about serving and keeping your composure is that serving is just a mechanical action. It doesn't matter who you're facing. So, right, she's probably hit that serve thousands of times in her basement or out in her yard, and so she's just locked in and ready to go no matter who's in front of her.
Yeah, it's a very good point. She does seem locked in. Again, in between games, she was just serving onto the net. So she's taking this very seriously. She wants to get another win under her belt for this year, heading into nationals. Jenki serving for her first time in the match. Just always close. Her serves are always close. On one foot, a little bit of a pocket. She's going to look at the observers and actually it did seem a little bit close, but I'm leaning towards pocket, but I'm not the one making the calls.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what they say. They said a redo. Yep. That is that signal you saw from the observers out there hitting your hands together with a thumbs up. That is the redo signal. They'll be doing it again. Same observers that we've had all day on this feature court. Nice handle there and put away.
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Finally, a recovery set came through for them. Again, not a great first touch, which may come back to bite them in the long and more points get played. It's less likely you'll make good plays, but there they did.
Oh, it's a good serve. First time winding up. Pierson jumps over the net, avoids the no-hit zone, and pulls it just between both defenders. No chance.
Yeah, really impressive hit there, just diving way over to give her extra space, and Graham Rogers were nowhere to be found.
Pierson opting to close off the stance, steps back and left, going for the jam. Rim on serve attempt number 1.
Gonna adjust that net there, make sure it's just perfect.
Steps out to the right. Big wind up, keeps it low enough. Oh, an interesting set. It was a little bit botched from that no-no zone, just a little too far for Becca Graham.
With the late adjustment there, looks like it also might have been in the sun a little bit. It is getting later in the day. The sun's on its way down, and it's right in the eyes of Rogers there.
Pierson, the only one wearing shades. Oh, who goes for a straight-up serve this time? We only saw that once in the last match, once or twice. Going back here, give herself some options. Steps right and a little bit too high, pockets up. Rogers getting a little bit of love from the crowd as she steps out right. Oh, fakes and jams herself on her toss to the left. That seems to be the #1 mistake that happens when people are going.
Yep. The toss is always the most challenging part. It looks like it's easy, but it is not. You want it to be tiled in. There she goes for a big cut there. She has it. She has a very strong cut serve that if she lands it, it is extremely hard to return. But of course, it's not the most common serve because it is just so challenging.
Jenki jumping a little bit. Frustrated when she can't get it on the net because she's usually so consistent. And then it goes for a drop. Pays off big time. Huge drop from Olivia Jenki.
Just disgusting. Stayed on that right side of the net. So it's so challenging to get there when she's getting ready for the cut that's already far away. So when it stays far, she's got an extra foot or so to make it back.
On 1 foot, very consistent second serve. We know that from her. Big right hand, low swing from Rogers. That's a great point.
Might have been the lowest hit we've seen all day. She just absolutely slapped that one across the net. Probably hit, just barely touched it and scooped right over.
There's just nothing the other team can do about that. You just try to put yourself in a position, but trying to get another one. Feeling herself a little bit. Gets that one trapped under the net. We'll do a little bit step out to the right, short it, and finally giving the ball back to Pierson.
So Pierson up 8-5 at this point, so still a solid, steady lead, but a little more energy coming out of Graham Rogers right there.
Yeah, like this open stance. She does this only every couple of times she gets the ball. She back at Pierson. Good set by Jenki. Pierson's right hand defended well again by Graham, and a botched set by Rogers gives another point.
Little adjustment here where she tried to run and set it back on the move, so just off the no-no zone again.
You only get so many chances to play defense. I mean, everyone's offense is very good, so that is a bummer to see. Pierson, I'm sure, happy to have the ball again. 9-5, and she lets a rip. Pockets up and over the head of Graham. She'll try to step out right again. Very consistent second serve like we've been seeing, and Rogers sliding, gets a touch but can't bring it back to the net. Another point for Jenki Pierson.
Just clockwork. If they just keep putting the pressure on, they're going to get a break every so often. We look at that break percentage, and it is high for Pierson.
Hits the front of the net. I'm wondering if the sunglasses are coming into play. The only one with the glasses, the only one who's hitting the net every time she touches the ball. And I say that again, she hits a great serve. Looks like they're going to the observers. They utilize this tool more than any of the teams they've played so far.
Call the side pocket there. So that goes the way of Graham Rogers.
Actually, one of the first times that one is one she will forget about when she goes to this next
You'll
one.
probably see that on the Trash Roundnet players' Instagram that Rogers is a part of, all about their missed plays and their mistakes they play, bringing some jest into the game.
Over adjustment, hits the front of the net, and now Jenki, who yet to go on a run. Pierson taking on the heavy duties, but goes for a cut here. Almost. Big smile. Knows how close she was. Tries again. That one looked like a cut because it hit the rim aggressively.
You talk about the overcompensation. I think they both kind of did it there, both teams really adjusting from their first serve, but it doesn't work out.
A huge jam serve from Graham. That paid off.
Paid off big times, and slowly bringing it back.
Another good serve. She's getting into the groove. Tries to play some body defense, but Pierson, great pull. Into the the good try zone is what I like to call it. Under the tricep.
The good try zone.
The good try zone. Pierson, big time closed off so she can go wide right. Tries to put some spin on that, but does pocket off to the right. She'll try again, opting for her side-by-side stance, giving her the ability to step out to the right. A very good serve. Defended with two hands, but too far away. That is an ace for Pierson.
Say below the hips, just so challenging. You saw it came right at her. When it's below your hands and your hips, it's hard to get that hand up.
Ooh, steps out. I like when Pierson steps out to the left here. Goes for that jam. Just puts a tiny bit of spin on it. It's something that these players don't see all the time, but pockets up a second. Toes left, just a little bit long. That's a couple of tries there. Still hasn't connected with the left. Assuming she'll go pretty straight up here. Yeah, she does. Pierson, easy backhand. Rogers stuck funneling, but great shot.
Yeah, just impressive hitting. Didn't have many squares there. That's just a classic. Give me a couple and I'll take them. Yep, she's like, I got it.
And then she goes left, and now she's starting to really feel herself. They're calling that
a foot drag, actually.
They're calling it a foot drag. I like that the observers are looking out for this. It was a great try on the left-handed serve, but then she goes with a low banger of a serve, defended well by Rogers, who puts an incredibly low hit on it. Great job by Rogers and Graham to try to get a couple of points here.
So many variety serves coming out from Jenki that it's kind of hard to keep up on Graham Rogers' side. Got the lefty, they got to work out about the drop, they got to worry about the cut.
Looking to get this one on the net, and does. Pierson gets a great first pass up, but actually the set is a little bit low. Pierson dives and can't get it.
Yeah, just a mistake they can afford for some of those, but they don't want it to keep them coming.
Oh, cool lefty serve there from Graham, who's here on defense, but not laying out quite enough. A little bit slow on the rotation. It's been a very long day for these ladies.
Yeah, and I think the first kind of big far hit we've seen, the first boom ball, if you will, hit by Jenki.
At least one that they tried to track down.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Everyone's trying to play these body defense. Pierson, a big open stance again. She will probably step out to the right. You'll try to see a big righty cut here. And pockets again. That's happened the last couple of times she's tried, but she goes back to this side-by-side stance with a small right step, keeps it low, very consistent, but good 1, 2, 3, and Rogers sails that one over the net. Another point for Pierson and Jenki, who are up, I believe, 18-11.
They are giving, Pierson is giving them so much trouble with these serves.
Like that one, and that is a hammer of a right-handed cut serve. Oh, they will get the observers together.
I think might have thought it hit a little rim. Sometimes when it stays low like that, it's hard to tell. Was it just cut, or did it just go off the rim and keep going straight?
Again, from our angle, it's tough. We are pretty low to ground level here, up in the booth, as they say.
We're parallel in the booth,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They will call that one a rim, so not good. She will get a second attempt here. Debating on if they're on first or second serve here. They call it a rim. I believe it should be second serve.
I believe it's second. I think it's second. We think it's second now. It's second now.
Second now?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We get to jump in. We're paying attention.
I could be wrong.
We
if
may
I'm wrong.
the stream, forget about that. Oh, great over the head set, but I believe Graham just stuffed the rim. You see that come off with that much spin. It's a little loud. You know. You know that was bad.
Jenki Pierson just.
Them to really get on a roll. They don't need to win this game, but they definitely need to build some momentum.
They need to get their game going. There's not much going. Graham's had a couple good serves. Their hitting, though, has been a little subpar, and they don't even have really any defensive touches.
Yeah, I actually do see that. Oh, another good lefty serve. Oh, but Pierson, a very smart open hand as Rogers is running past the net.
Just better play.
Wasn't it on the end of the game here, trying to make a statement. A little bit too casual there. We'll put the ball back in the hands of Graham and Rogers, who are down 6. Coming in on the closing bell for this game. She will want to look to get this one on. She's had a couple of good serves. Steps out and over adjusts again, going a little bit too far on the second one.
Now we're on game point here. It's game 1 of the women's finals here in California. Mission Viejo, the tour stop.
Pierson, big pocket with the right hand. She'll probably go side by side, as she does. Steps out and goes for a drop. It's a little bit sneaky, but a little careless.
But just trying to put something on, get it in there, keep her guessing.
She's got a couple of points to give, as the last person on this team to hold the ball will be Rogers, unless they can bring this within or really tie it up. Rogers goes wide right and goes for a drop. Bounced up a little bit high, defended easily by Pierson, but she stuffs the ball into her own foot. It stays on the net, and we're staying alive.
So here they're talking about, that Pierson wanted to dive through and kind of wants to call a hinder. It's really, and they are calling it a hinder, so they're going back, because Rogers was on the side and she didn't really clear the no-hit zone, so she couldn't do that. So it's back, but it resets to first serve.
That's one I don't know how I feel about here at the end of the game, knowing that she did dive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to sell it, I guess she did enough.
Yes.
Rogers fakes right, fakes left, goes back to her left, and hits the rim. That will end game 1. A big performance out of Olivia Jenki and Katie Pierson. we're going to need to see a little bit more out of Graham Rogers if they want to push this to a Game 3.
Yeah, like we saw in the semifinals, Pierson and Jenki are just doing everything. They're doing everything they can. Serving's working, hitting's working, setting's working. We haven't seen too much defense because everything else is working. They don't need to do it. Graham Rogers a little slower to pick up that pace. A couple good serves, but overall just playing a little worse.
The same kind of thing we
Yeah.
saw in the semifinal. Miramontes and Wu made enough mistakes, and Jenki and Pierson have stayed clean this entire time. I mean, sure, they'll make the occasional mistake, but it doesn't matter if the other team's beating themselves.
Right, and that's the thing. We've seen a lot of I don't want to call them as many mistakes. It's just they aren't recovering as well from these tough serve returns. Their serve return isn't good enough, and so when they're getting a tough one, they're not recovering it back.
Definitely.
And so it's not clicking either way. They're not the serve return's not great. They have a chance to make it better, but they're not doing that.
Exactly.
So
Can't make up for it.
It needs to come put that on top of just a couple easy rims, which comes with strong players. You are so worried about where to hit it that sometimes you go for that extra risky shot, hit the rim. It's just challenging, and it's a hard game to play, especially when you're just really strong opponents that aren't giving you anything.
Definitely. And I know that these are some of the best women in the country, and I do want to take a quick second to tell everybody, if you or someone you know is an amazing lady baller, type in !women's FB in the chat. Click that link or send it to someone you know. This is the tip of the iceberg for what we think that the women's round net community can be. And right now we're seeing people who have done it for several years against people who have done it for a couple of years, and the sport's only growing. So if you or someone you know is a lady baller, click that link.
Get to it and start playing. And also recommend following @women's_roundnet on Instagram. That's where they post all their updates and all their cool stuff. You can also get, I'm disappearing, a cool shirt or sticker with this logo. We got some nice lady balls. Look at that. Perfect. I got this going on my laptop when I get back home. I'm stoked.
There you go. How do I get one?
Yeah. Oh, you got to find one.
All right. I got to go to women's_roundnet on Instagram.
You got to find them. Just yell women's roundnet or somewhere, and
okay.
Someone will come with it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Beautiful. They're getting ready and set for this Game 2 here. We're looking for Graham Rogers to adapt, but truthfully, Jenki Pierson might just keep on rolling. They've had a hell of a day.
Yeah, they, we talked about limiting mistakes. It helps when Pierson has 15 different types of serves that she's debuted. But Rogers, Graham, they will start with the ball. First serve is a little bit high. I want to see some fireworks early as we've got Rogers stepping out right. They're going to call that high and
go to observers.
Yeah. First point, they want to go to observers. I don't disagree with the idea. It was definitely close, if anything. And they will call it high.
Good check again. Shout out to our observers making calls when the players are not sure.
Pierson trying to pick up where she left off. Oh, they'll play this. It was a little bit high, but Pierson and Jenki get a big left hand. Great body defense by Rogers. This one will rim, and they think that.
I think Pierson caught it thinking it was a rim, and they're going to observers.
You always want to play that out.
Yeah, right. It was right to her, and they're calling it a rim.
Wow. It was.
I think it was one of those deep pockets that gets the rim, and it's just
loud.
how much did it get? It's loud.
It was loud.
You can't argue with loud.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a very hard argument because then you're going to go back and they're going to say, "But did you hear that?"
But it sounded bad.
Yeah,
it sounded bad.
All right, Katie Pierson steps out right. Very consistent on her second serves, and she'll get her first ace of the game.
So telling you, see what just happened there for Rogers. She was in the right spot, but there's so much spin on these balls that it just rolled right over her hand.
They gonna continue to thinking about playing these pocketed serves. It actually almost paid off the first time. They got a weird rim call, but Graham and Rogers are gonna have to start taking the ball out of their hands and start generating some offense.
Right, I think that's a really smart move in saying they've been having trouble. Take whatever they can get.
Oh, quick set by Jenki. Played well by Graham. Becca Graham finally doing what we know she could do, hammering it low. We definitely need to see more of that out of them. Oh, she serves quick. They may play this. No, a little bit high. They know that the serves haven't been as challenging, so they are not scared to see a second one. That one stays low. Pierson sets Jenki. Good attempt on Graham by trying to get that body defense. Right spot, too big of a bounce.
They're generating some touches so far, but it's exactly what you said. They're not worried about Graham Rogers' serve, so they're going to get take any pocket they can. Another one going to the observers. I actually don't know what the call was there. Maybe a little side pocket.
Yeah, I mean, Jenki just thought it was good right off the bat. It did. I mean, that one came right at us. I will say that it stayed pretty straight. I'm wondering if they're going to call it high. Not sure what the end result, the actual call was.
And then I think she called the wrong score, so Graham wasn't ready.
Oh, wow. Which is unfortunate because she hit a great serve. So kind of unfortunate, but it will go back to Graham Rogers. Rogers fakes, goes with the left. She started figuring those out towards the end of game number 1. So she tries something different, closes off her stance a little bit here, and just goes with a straight-on right-hand cut, which we hadn't seen all of game 1. That is a great serve.
Hey, when she hits it, it's one of the best serves you'll see in the women's division or any division. It goes so far to the right that if you're not ready for that, it's getting you.
And she goes for another one. Great defense by Jenki. That one does rim up, and they will get 2 in a row here. Good job by Rogers and Graham.
Big swing there. Allie Rogers finally hitting her groove with those serves. Hit a couple in a row. That's exactly what she needed.
Hey, never count them out. They've been doing this a long time. They've been here before. She goes lefty. She really is feeling it. I want to see another closed-off stance here. Yeah, here we go. Try to go after that cut serve again. She will, and she gets it.
3 in a row.
Rogers is rolling.
Rogers is rolling.
As we get a Mark Donaldson sighting on camera, Rogers goes for the left again. Does not quite connect. She will close off this stance again. We know what happens here. Gets a good serve on. Defended well by Jenki, who puts this one low and in between the defenders.
Stops the bleeding. Now just 5-6, so 3 only put them up 1, Graham Rogers, but they're trying as best they can to hold this here with Pierson serving.
They definitely put themselves in a bad spot early. Great job by Rogers to bring it back. Good 1, 2, 3 here. That is a very lucky bounce. Huge left hand from Becca Graham.
Yeah, just that's the hit she was going for, right? Exactly.
Just the way she drew it up.
Yeah, just the way she drew it up.
And now she gets to hit a serve over the shoulder of Pierson, which is pretty low to begin with. This serve will be played as it pockets up a little bit, and Rogers just moves out of the way thinking Graham is there, but point for Pierson and Jenki.
That's what we talk about with team chemistry, right? They were a little off on that point, but that's exactly what you're looking for, not taking your partner's balls.
Oh, a big serve here from Jenki, but the backhand and another miss hit. I think that's what they should go for all game.
It's clearly working, the little accidental offense here.
I love that. All right, Rogers and Graham making it interesting. It doesn't have to be pretty to be interesting. No. Rogers faking right, faking left. They won't play this as that serve is high. Rogers closes off the stance again. Will she go for another cut? I think so. It just hits the rim.
Back the way of Pierson. Just scary for Graham Rogers, but they're going to hope for a pocket or a rim or something that they can just play and not have to worry about her incredible arsenal of serves.
8-7. The players rotate as Pierson gets a great serve on the net. Graham gets a right hand, but Jenki defends it well. Trying for the body defense is Rogers, but Jenki's hit too powerful.
Yeah, just amazing pull and footwork, just being in that spot. A nice defensive break.
Yeah, we can't see the lines as well on the stream, but seeing them avoid the no-hit zone, use their momentum to their advantage to generate some serious power with their right hand, all their strong hands is incredible to watch. I like that Pierson's going straight up here. Another way that she lines up. I mean, she goes like this. You see right here, side by side. She goes open stance. She goes closed stance. She steps out right here. A little bit of a cut, but Rogers going to have a set off the net with her left hand and is not able to put that one back on the net.
Yeah, not the set she was looking for there. Of course, you know, if it was that far off the net on the right hand, that'd be a little different, but into Rogers' left, not ideal. And that's another break back, taking the lead back. Jenki and Pierson.
This is a dangerous position. Pierson with the ball in her hand on the serve is a great one, but left hand defended well by her as well. She uses her own left, and Rogers and Graham cannot play enough defense It was 2 back and forth. It was very fast, but great job by Pierson.
Yeah, that touch just looked ridiculous and just went so quick.
Star of that point is Katie Pierson's left hand.
Yeah.
As she goes side by side here, probably stepping out right. I like when she steps left and goes for a jam serve. Instead goes right at her with a little bit of a cut. Rogers defends well. Drop shot also defended well.
Easy that up. That's one we were talking about what they would do earlier. They're baiting the drop, but there she snuck in for it and just barely got it on. It was strong by Rogers, able to just put that through and stop the nonsense there.
Yeah, unfortunately, she wasn't able to get a set good enough to put it away. But Graham's serve good. Left hand by Jenki, just enough. It wasn't extra powerful, but she pulled it a lot. Graham could not get there.
So rotating now, 11 serving 9.
Olivia Jenki steps right, hits a big cut attempt, pockets up. Instead, closed off her stance, goes one leg, very consistent again. And pulling it, oh, Rogers and Graham are going to need to make something happen when they're at the service line.
Their downfall has seeming to be these sets. You know, the server teams aren't perfect, but these sets are just not doing them any favors. And you're right that they're going to have to get back in the hand of Rogers, hit some of those cuts, or Graham, who's just powering it past them. But their offensive play is leaking a little bit.
Here we go. This is the person we wanted to have the ball in their hands to make this a close game again. It's a little far. I wanted to go back to that cut serve. She steps out wide right again, goes for a drop and just shorts it.
Not ideal there, and it's just kind of going back and forth. But you know, nothing seems to be shaking Jenki and Pierson. They were down quick, but got it back real quick.
Yeah, it's almost like they're still trying to do new stuff. She's hit 3 cut serves that were incredible. You almost want to see her just go to what she knows.
Just keep going with it, yeah.
I like that she's trying something new, but Pierson, who's nothing's new to her, she's got every serve in the bag, hits a good one. Another missed hit. This one, unfortunately, does not leave the net. That will be a point for Pierson on her serve.
Just not the third time, not that ever. And they were so ready for it, too. They were just ready to get any little thing they can. They're going to have to play this one.
Very smart, in my opinion. Anytime you have the opportunity to be the one putting the ball away, you know your offense is good. That's a great play.
Strong hit on 2, which Pierson didn't look ready for at all.
Graham dropping, trying to put themselves in a position to play defense. This will get flicked, but unfortunately gets a finger on it, but not enough.
We haven't seen that really at all, and that's the risk-reward with drops. Like I said before, it's either it puts them in a comfortable position or it's nice and easy.
Oh, that's a beautiful left-handed push by Graham.
So that's kind of been it's seemingly her bread and butter with a no-hit zone is a little falling through, putting it on the few squares and stepping right through.
Rogers going back to her left hand on the serve. See, I like the closed-off stance. Here we go, but just puts it on. I like the idea. Play some defense. Pierson goes right. Great defense here. Jumping across the net is Graham, but can't do it. The sets have just been their downfall today.
They're just not working, and they're just not doing themselves any favors with these. Their opportunities are just not coming together. That was such a great defensive touch by Rogers, or Graham, excuse me.
Pierson going straight up at him again. Put the ball in the net. She knows that they haven't been able to really overpower them once they have the ball. So Pierson steps out right, gets the serve almost on, clips the front of the rim. And we're back to Graham. Misses the first serve. Should look to put this one on. Does, takes it easy. Good 1, 2, and 3 from Jenki. Defended well by Graham, but just stabs at it, and it goes a little bit too far. Point for Jenki and Pierson.
Yeah, just not coming together. Now up 17-13 here.
Great first pass, pulls it, but right at Pierson. Pierson has the chance to put this away, and Graham giving it her best effort, but just out to her right.
Just stronger play, and that's another big break on a defensive touch that almost puts this out of reach.
It's, I mean, never say never, but you also need to make something happen here.
Yeah.
Olivia Jenki, big serve on her second, stays aggressive, gets away with it to the outstretched right hand of Rogers.
This is just looking like a dominant performance.
Oh, and
Jenki
gets a set. It is game point. Oh, she tries to take it away on her own. Now, Rogers, the one you want serving after this performance, has the ball.
They got to break a lot back to bring this in.
Steps right. First serve is too low. Hits the front of the rim.
This could be the tournament.
Needs to get this one on. And it pockets up. That will be game. Your women's division pro champions here in Mission Viejo, California, are Olivia Jenki and Katie Pierson.
Wow, and just many people expected it, but that was a dominant performance.
Yeah, I mean, oh, look, everyone gets to catch Mike White with the shades.
No,
here.
not yet. I'll let him have it. I'll let him have it. There it is.
Performance too bright from Pierson.
Brought it back right away. Just all aspects of their game were on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's hard to say anything negative about their performance. They were pretty dominant. They got a handful of aces. They were putting themselves in position on defense. I mean, there's really not one part of their game that was bad in the last two at all.
Right.
And we can't necessarily say the same for Graham and Rogers, but props to them for a second-place finish here.
Yeah. That was a really strong finish for Graham Rogers. There was, placed over Thus, placed over Zoomies, two teams that have been really challenging in the women's scene this year. So that was big for them. We'll give them some nice points going to nationals. The big thing is that, women's is not directly into nationals like in pro. You have to get a pro bid. However, points do matter for seeding. So in this case, Pierson got herself a bunch of more points. So did Jenki, and Graham Rogers got another, which should be helping them with their seeding. So this is actually, although it doesn't directly correlate, it has big impacts for nationals in 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is huge for them, especially since all four of them will be having all eyes on them at nationals. So very excited to have been here alongside Mike White. It's been a pleasure, man.
It's been so fun, and we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That is when we're having a new schedule. We usually do some premier and then contenders tomorrow. All pro, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We got pro semis 1, 11, or whenever that finishes, pro semi 2, and then we got the pro finals, and of course, true second if needed. So we're all in on pro tomorrow, and I'm going to check really quick on the matches we have. I believe in one we have Rito boys.
Who are you playing?
Facing off against Double Clutch. So that'll be a rematch from the Chicago Tour Stop. In the other semis, we got Assistive Touch, Buddy Hammond and Clark Marshall playing against Wonky Sauce. You might be, who is Wonky Sauce? That is Justin and Blake out of Canada. Came down, beat Sloppy Seconds, and beat Klondike Bars, just absolutely having a day. Some of the best serves we've ever seen, and it's incredible. It's just amazing.
I'm nervous because I have to avoid a ton of bias towards Buddy Hammond and Clark Marshall, my old teammate of who knows how long, going up against a team that is making a name for themselves at this tournament. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see all of you here tomorrow, and Mike, thanks again. Yeah, shout out to all of our sponsors we have here today. I'm not going to list them off, but you're going to catch them tomorrow. And, of course, shout out to Andrew Gasaway behind the camera running everything today. Yes, like I said, we are seeing both pro semis tomorrow. We're going to reiterate that. 10 a.m. is the first, 11 a.m. is the next. And then after that, we will have the finals, again, Pacific time. So if you're an East Coaster like me, that's one beautiful afternoon of roundnet. But that's all we have for you here today. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow.